on Big Boys TV, we are hunting turkey in northern Michigan. It's the first day of the season, so I am heading out in hopes that I can fill my tag.
Alright, today is May 7th, the first day of the second turkey season here in northern Michigan. We're sitting in a familiar spot. I've killed a turkey here the past couple years. We just got in the blind and got set up, and we can already see a tom about 150 yards in front of us, and he's just kind of moseying around, so we're just gonna wait it out. We've got a couple decoys set up. We've got a jake and a hen that usually entices those toms to come in, so we're just gonna wait it out and hope that a nice tom comes close enough so I can let an arrow fly out of my PSE carbonator. That is one thing about this spot that gets so irritating is every year when I sit here, they like tease you and they just kind of sit on the outskirts of this field and they don't come in. But then there's also times where they'll just kind of like run in and you won't even see them coming, and all of a sudden they're right in front of you. So it's a good spot. Lots of birds here.
Well, this tom was not interested in our setup this night, so we headed out the next day to the same spot, hoping we would have some better luck.
We're out here again today, turkey hunting in northern Michigan, and we just got all set up, put our decoys out, and we can already hear the turkeys gobbling. It's about almost 1 o'clock, but we've got a trail camera out here, and we've been watching it consistently, and they've been here around this time every day. So we got in here, and we can already hear them gobbling actually, so we know that they're probably going to come this way because they've been so consistent. So I got my PSE ready, and all we need now is a nice tom to come into range. I was just pulling back my bow real quickly, and I try to do that every time I get into a ground blind because you really have to be careful because of the distance between your sight and your arrow, that you, when you pull back and you shoot, you don't accidentally hit the bottom of the blind with your arrow. So I just do that every time, and we just make sure that I'm all clear and the window's wide enough. The hard thing with turkeys is that they have really good eyes, so we want our blind to be as shut as possible, and we always wear black in blinds because it's better cover that way. But you definitely have to have it open enough to be able to shoot through it, so just making sure.
Stay tuned. When we return, I get a shot at a big tom.
We've been sitting out here for a couple hours now, and we just now have a tom, a jake, and a hen walk into the field, so we're just hoping that they are gonna come to our decoys. They look like that they are. Maybe there's another hen.
There was one good tom in the group, and now all I needed was for them to come a little bit closer. The hens were committed to the decoys, and the tom was right behind them, so all I had to do was get ready for the shot. stop moving and the other birds kept going in front of him or directly behind him, so I was waiting patiently for the right shot.
Went right through.
Here we are with my 2018 long beard. I am very excited to have gotten this big boy on the ground. We've been sitting in this spot for the past few days just waiting for a big tom to come close enough to take a shot. Finally, this guy came out with a couple hens and a jake. He came just into range, about 12 yards. A little closer than what we had expected, but they came close and I was able to take a shot. And here he is. He went a little further than what we had thought, but we found him no problem. And now I'm gonna take the breasts out and cook them for dinner.
I'm here with Cameron, or you go by Cam?
Either one's fine.
Cam Urbanus, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's a first-time hunter, and he's a friend, actually cousin of Nate Nutter behind the camera. And Nate shot his, bird last year with the same gun, and that was your second bird. And so, he thought it'd be cool for Cam to come up north and try this out. So we had him shoot the gun earlier, and now we are in a really good meadow that they like to come into. They come in and out of here throughout the day. Everything's starting to green up, so they're starting to really check things out. We know that this bird is in here because Jada and I were here 3 or 4 nights ago. She shot one with her bow last time, but it was a different bird. So we know that this little thicker bird, bearded bird, is still here and doing well. We run trail cameras, and that helps us. And just keep on the lookout for them. Usually about the time I don't pay attention is when they come in. Tonight he's going to use a shotgun because it's his first hunt, and we want to make sure that he's on. So we'll see if we can't get a big boy down here in northern Michigan tonight. If not, we'll be back at it before daylight tomorrow morning.
Not too long after they got in the blind, they had a group of jakes moving in.
It is almost out of shooting light. 8:12 is when the shooting light's done. We're getting close to that. So we're gonna head out. We saw some 5 jakes and 2 hens? 5 jakes and 2 hens tonight. So we had some good activity. So that was encouraging. I think we'll come back here in the morning, try to hunt them right off the roost. See where they're at, let them talk to us, and get set up. So we'll get out of here, Cam, and load the gun, and go get some dinner, and we're ready to hunt in the morning.
Alright.
We're back out in the blind that we were sitting in last night. These birds came through. We had 5 jakes and 2 hens. They came to my decoy. They fed in this meadow for a while, and then they went right behind us, and that's what I figured. They're going to roost across the street. Went across the street when we got in this morning. We could hear them gobbling as soon as we got out of the truck. They've obviously come down out of the trees now because they got quiet, and now we're just going to wait for them. I only have a hen, no jake. I'm afraid if it's that Tom was here the other day, that he's kind of a wimp, and he feel intimidated by that jake, because he stayed way out on the edge, when Jada and I were hunting here the other day. And so I don't want to intimidate them. I want them coming close enough for you to get a shot on them. So I think that's why we'll go with just the hen decoy. We'll just keep an eye out. They should be in here. Give them a little time to come off from wherever they landed and wander into this meadow. This is probably the best meadow on the property where we've seen them most of the time. We got water right here on the edge of it. A lot of grass coming up. The farmer's been tilling out here, and they like to dig in that dirt and eat whatever bugs or grubs or just whatever they can find, roots. I don't know. They always like fresh dirt. So we should be in good shape. See what happens. Give a little bit of time. I would say within half hour. If they're going to be here, they're going to be here. If not, we'll move to another spot.
The jakes came into the decoy, but they didn't stay long because the big tom was moving in.
How's that? Watch those other birds don't shoot. Can't have any birds behind them. No birds behind them. Right now.
Stay tuned to see if they can capitalize on this big tom. When we left, my dad and Cameron had a big tom coming into their decoy. Let's see if they can make it happen.
He's moving around too much. See, right? No. He's coming over here. Can you get him when he does that? He won't hold it down. Let him come back. Watch those other birds don't shoot. Can't have any birds behind him. No birds behind him. There you go. Right there.
They were having trouble getting the bird to hold still, and when he would, there was other birds behind it.
He might give you a chance here in a minute. Might have to shoot him with his head down. There. No, you got a turkey behind him. You'll kill that hen behind him. I gotta get him to go. No, don't shoot yet. I got too many birds behind him. I'd like for that one to get me out. He's gonna come right behind. Wait for that one. I'm gonna try to get him to raise his head, but I can't get that other one away.
Yeah, I shot right underneath where the line Nate told me to.
Well, there we have, folks. Cam just got his first beer. Big Tom. I was shaking more than that. They came in right into the decoy. They were just feeding around here. It's a spring. They're still right out here. They don't even know what just happened. They gobbled, as you can see afterwards. He rolled this bird as long as the beard is still on him. The bird was so close, and I couldn't get him to lift his head. He was so preoccupied with feeding and running around. And he went back over here, then he came over here, and then we had birds behind him and in front of him. We had them all over the place. I mean, this is insane. Oh my gosh. I was never so nervous in all my life.
The bird wouldn't stand still.
Well, and then you see, then you get in with the other birds, and then they move around, and it was just chaos. But good job. Get your first bird. Well, Cameron Urbanus,
Yeah.
right? From Grand Rapids, this is his beautiful first kill, first tom, first experience hunting. Took hunter safety course, came up here, and Nate running the camera behind here, it's his cousin, and told him, you should come up and try this turkey hunting thing. Nate had it perfected last year. He made a perfect shot also. So I think he was excited for you too. You couldn't have gotten a bigger bird. I mean, this is as big as it gets. They've got 1 inch plus spurs. You got a 10-inch beard, and it's a rope. You made a perfect shot at 10 yards. It was a difficult hunt this morning because we had so many birds come in with them, and they were just all over the place. They were in his way, and that was the thing about just having an experienced hunter like myself, because so many people will get focused on that big bird in front of them that they forget there's birds behind them, and then you got 2 or 3 dead birds behind you. So I'm glad you waited, you were patient, and it was difficult, but it was the right thing to do. And I mean, you have this beautiful bird. It's got a beautiful tail feather. You couldn't have had a better day. What do you think? Tell Nate there what you think of what happened today.
It's definitely a really good experience. Probably the most fun I've had in a long time.
Were you shaking?
Yeah, I was shaking after and before.
Yeah. Isn't it funny how you shake after the fact?
Yeah, you didn't think you would.
Right.
You'd think it'd be all before and then right after.
And Nate's first bird, he shot a little bit low, shot the beard off of it. So we were worried about that. So we sat in the blind for a second and watched the footage because we didn't want to have disappointment when we rolled the bird over. And we saw that it was just fine. You just shot it up in the neck area. And what an amazing morning. Beautiful day here in northern Michigan with a big boy down with Cam from the Grand Rapids area, and this is how you get them started. 16 years old, get these kids out started, and they'll do it for the rest of their life. Thanks for watching.
Great first bird for Cameron. That's all the time we have for this week. Make sure and tune in next week and keep up with everything we do in the outdoors on Facebook, Instagram, and at bigboystv.com. This week we're going to be giving you guys a few tips on how to hunt out of a ground blind. If you plan on using a ground blind this fall, make sure and set it up well before season starts, because if you set it up the day before, the deer will probably be nervous. Another thing we like to do just to camouflage our blind even more is to brush it in. Now, it's really important that you don't grab sticks and leaves and stuff from the exact spot where your blind is, because you don't want to ruin your natural cover. It's really important when you're hunting out of a ground blind to be wearing black. So, if sitting in your hawk tree stand isn't doing you any good, try out a ground blind this year. It might just bring you some luck. Launch it out. What is today? Do you know what today is? Okay. I will.
Austin, use this video that I'm using because somebody bumped the big camera and I had no audio.